All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Epiphany. I'm so glad to be here with Shelton Jones. Shelton, thank you for joining me today.
Epiphany, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you. And Shelton, he is a product of St. John University who has now gone to the Sweet 16. This has been 27 years since they have made it. So, Shelton, what do you think this team can do or should do to beat Duke?
I think if they continue on doing what they've been doing, they'll be just fine. I mean, they're playing great defense. They're scoring a lot of points. So I think if they just continue to do what they do, but against Duke, just have to do it at another level.
Right, right. And how was your time playing at St. John's? Did you guys reach the Sweet 16 or?
We did. We actually, my freshman year, we made the Final Four. My junior year, I believe we made the Final Eight. And then junior year, we made Final 16,
Right. And how
I
does this,
believe.
yes, and how does this run compare to the expectation? I know now Rick Pitino's there. How does this run compare to the expectations when you were playing at St. John's?
I think it's big time. I think no matter what the period, the time period, or whatever, when you get to this point where you're capable of making the tournament itself and then the Sweet 16, Final Eight, or what have you, I think it's all relevant. It's all relative. I don't think it's really any difference, just a different time period. But the expectations are very high.
Right. And what stands out to you most about this team's playing style and their leadership?
Toughness.
Mhm.
The toughness. I see Rick Pitino all over that team. I'll tell you a funny story about Rick Pitino, how I got to know him,
Mhm.
and how tough he was. We were playing Providence. He was coaching Providence at the time, and we were up in Providence.
Right.
And we was I'm giving it to him pretty good. I think we might have been up like 6 or 8 points. We went on a nice little run, and they called a timeout.
Mhm.
So during the timeout, I go through the Providence team, like
Mhm.
by their bench, kind of through their huddle, and
Right.
I see Rick Pitino.
Mhm.
So I stiffen up and I'm ready. I'm ready to bump him. I'm not gonna bump him, but
Mhm.
I'm ready when we hit. I'm ready to
Mhm.
be tough.
Right.
Like hit me. And when I bumped into him, I
Mhm.
never forget he didn't move. And then I
Mm.
looked at him and he was going like holding his guard, looking at me like, "You're not coming through here. You're not gonna do this." So I looked at him because he's like this tall to me, like he's
Right.
way out here. Like
Right.
so I was just like, "Oh my God, Rick
Right.
Pitino's a tough son of a bitch." Like you know what I mean? He's not
Right.
backing down at
Right.
all. And
Right.
now I watch his teams, and I understood at that moment why his teams were so tough.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
great story. That's a great story.
yeah,
Yeah, and he
yeah, he
he seems
surprised me.
right. He seems tough. Like looking at him,
Yeah, he is, man. He
yeah,
is.
very, with all the teams that he's coached.
Mhm.
You look at both teams, where does St. John's have the edge and where might Duke create problems for St. John?
I think uh, our defense
Mhm.
will give them problems, like especially the press. If we want to decide to press them, it's going to give them a tough time.
Mhm.
But on the other side of it, they have a lot of good scorers. Like I mean, they're very well coached. So it's going to definitely be a tough job for our guys to handle.
Right. And who has been your favorite player to watch on the St. John's team?
I like the big fella.
Hmm.
I can't pronounce his name. Abuju. I can't pronounce his name
Hmm.
without seeing it.
Right.
But he's my favorite. The big guy. I love his motor. He
Hmm.
doesn't stop. He plays great defense. He can score, rebound, does a little bit of everything.
Right. And what about Duke?
Duke. I haven't watched Duke too much this year, but from what I hear, the Boozer brothers,
Oh
the
yeah.
Boozer
Hmm.
twins. I
Yeah.
think if we can control the elder Boozer, I
Mhm.
think we'll be fine.
Right. And when St. John played Kansas, what stood out to you the most about how they ran that game, orchestrated that game?
Just that defense, like
Hmm.
that tough defense. That's the thing that I noticed the most. And when I was watching, I kept saying to myself, that's the defense that's going to get them to the Final Four. Like they're
Right.
going to have to continue to do that. That's what I was amazed at the most. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because they really did a good job defensively. Kansas has a lot of great players, a lot
Right.
of good players, big guys and guards. So I
Right.
thought the defense was fantastic.
Right. And what do you see? Well, can you make your prediction of how do you think the game's going to go between St. John and Duke on Friday night?
Well, my opinion
Hmm.
is that if St. John's plays the type of defense that they've been playing,
Hmm.
they can win. But
Hmm.
at the same time,
Hmm.
that Duke, you can't count Duke out at any moment, at any time. So I think that it's just a matter. We're just going to have to watch and see it play out. But
Right.
hopefully, St. John's will come out on top.
Right. Well, thank you, Shelton, for giving me your input, your insight, and thank you guys for watching. And tell me, who are you rooting for, St. John or Duke? Until next time, I'll see you again. Bye bye.